Welcome to Alpha Insights. I'm Archer. Today we've got Josh with us to walk through the latest in the cannabis sector, the policy twists, the regulatory wins, and what it all might mean for markets. Remember, if you have questions as we go, you can ask us at stockalpha.ai.
Thanks, Archer. Great to be here.
Josh, straight off the top, it feels like two stories happening at once this week. What's the short version?
So the real question here is timing versus clarity. On one side, you have Nebraska moving forward with formal medical rules, which brings clarity. On the other side, Virginia is wrestling with amendments that could push back sales and raise costs. That split, clarity in one market and political friction in another, is creating mixed signals for the sector.
Let's start with Nebraska. What changed there?
Nebraska's Medical Cannabis Commission unanimously approved formal regulations and sent them on for the usual legal review. Practically speaking, that moves the program from temporary 90-day guidance to a full rule set. For operators and suppliers, formal rules mean you can plan licensing, capacity, and compliance with more confidence.
So operationally that matters, but not instantaneous. Timelines still depend on the Attorney General and the Governor signing off.
Exactly. If the Attorney General and Governor approve, you should expect licensing and distribution timelines to firm up over the coming months. That tends to reduce uncertainty, which, in market terms, can take some of the premium out of short-term volatility and shift focus to execution.
Right, now flip to Virginia. One of the stakes there.
Virginia's case is a reminder that legalization is not just a yes or no. The governor suggested delaying retail sales by 6 months, raising taxes, and adding criminal penalties. Lawmakers who drafted the legalization bills pushed back hard, saying those changes would undermine the law's intent. That kind of public dispute can push back openings, change revenue projections, and squeeze margins if taxes rise.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And the market reacts to uncertainty. A potential 6-month delay doesn't just shift a date on the calendar. It affects first-year revenue for new licensees, timing for supply contracts, and even investor sentiment for names with exposure to the region.
Investors are also watching the holiday weekend, April 20th. What's happening on that front?
Federal and state transportation officials launched a campaign warning against marijuana-impaired driving ahead of April 20th. That increases enforcement and public messaging. At the same time, consumer-facing events continue. For instance, a major cannabis cup in New Jersey is slated for May 1st, with judging closing April 24th. So you have enforcement on one side and culture and branding on the other. It's a contrast.
Interesting. Short reactions. Right. Interesting.
I mean, when you look at the data, these safety campaigns can dampen short-term retail traffic, especially for delivery and late-night sales, while events like the Cannabis Cup can boost brand awareness and local demand. So near-term volatility around holiday weekends is normal.
Josh, for listeners who trade or follow the sector, what should they be monitoring closely in the next few weeks?
Watch several things. 1. Legislative movement in Virginia. Any official vote or amendment that changes the sales start date, tax rates, or penalties. 2. The Attorney General and Governor review in Nebraska. Approval there leads to clearer licensing timelines. 3. Enforcement messaging and mobility data around April 20th, which could affect weekend retail patterns. And 4. Outcomes of consumer events like the New Jersey Cannabis Cup, which can boost regional demand and brand momentum.
And are there particular names or instruments that tend to react to these headlines?
Analysts note that broad cannabis exchange-traded funds and large multi-state operators often move on these signals. Think of well-known companies such as Curaleaf, Tilray, Green Thumb, and the large ETFs that track the sector. But the usual caveat: movement reflects headline sensitivity and expected local revenue impacts, not company fundamentals in isolation.
Quick pause for clarity. We need to remind listeners about the usual disclosure.
Right. This is for informational purposes only and not personalized investment advice. We're not recommending any buys or sells. Analysts and data suggest momentum, but every listener should do their own due diligence.
Before we go, a couple of short takeaways.
Sure. 1. Nebraska's formal rules are constructive. They reduce operational uncertainty if signed off. 2. Virginia's proposed amendments introduce timing and margin risk that could add volatility. 3. Watch enforcement messaging around April 20th and event-driven demand into early May for short-term shifts.
Perfect. If you have questions about anything we discussed today, you can ask us directly at stockalpha.ai. We answer listener questions live. And for more market insights, head over to stockalpha.ai.